Jeremy White and Joe DiBiase, and joining us here in our pavilion that we set up in for a couple weeks is Bills head coach Sean McDermott. Good morning. Well, we got to get you up here. Sorry about that. There you go. You got it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to be with you guys this morning on this beautiful summer morning in Western New York.
Yeah. It's been nice weather, and 2 more practices left. You were telling us before you came on that you're up early. What time's the workout?
I think I hit the track probably. It's not as early as it is during the season, but I think 5:30, somewhere in there.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this for a while. I just think there's a potential opportunity for the Sean McDermott workout of the day, and you just tell Bills Mafia, this is what I'm doing today, and get everybody on your workout plan and just go for that.
I love that. Great idea. Let's do it.
Yeah, I like it.
The only challenge would be what happens on the days when I don't do it. Then I'm slacking.
Everyone be waiting for what's McDermott doing today, and then it doesn't come. I guess it's my off day.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sitting with us. Couple things to get to. Any plans yet, decisions on what you're going to do for the first preseason game regarding starters, like who might play, who might sit?
We're getting there as a staff. It's been busy planning-wise, just overall for this practice, the next practice. That's some of what we started talking about yesterday, and we'll finish that as a staff tonight. So respectfully trying to do things in the right order. I want to make sure we go through it as a staff, make sure we alert the players and communicate with them, and then we'll talk about it.
Yesterday, an off day. Any good news on the injury front? Expecting anyone back today?
Minimally. We're going to continue to ramp up Terrell Bernard and some of those guys. So not really anybody fully coming back off of that list, unfortunately. But I do feel like we're getting a little bit healthier. It's just not showing right now.
Assuming you would also be very careful with those injured guys for Saturday's preseason game? Yes,
correct. I mean, the hardest part is, some of these guys have been out for 10 days, going on 14 days, and I don't, they although they may be getting a few reps tomorrow, it's just, to me, kind of early to just throw them out there with no leash on them and let them go, and the chances of something, happening or reoccurring is just too high at that point.
Any news, any update on James Cook and whether or not you expect him out here today?
Yeah, he will not be out here today. Really nothing's changed at this point.
Okay. So getting out here to camp, it's been an off-season about new pieces on the defensive side of the football. Does that make it any different for you? New players every year, but it seemed like this year there was more of a focus on adding more pieces and maybe getting more opportunities to do different things on that side of the ball.
Well, yes. I mean, we want to be continually kind of tilling the soil, right? And defensively, this was an opportunity for us to do that, and adding the front pieces in particular have been important for us. And where what they've shown so far is promise. They really have. All 3 of those guys up front, TJ, Landon, and Dion, are off to great starts. They're all different players, but we're already seeing their impact, right? And really excited about the direction that they're going to go at this point. And then, unfortunately, with Max getting injured early, so he's going to be behind a little bit. There's no way around that. When he gets healthier, we'll be able to get him up to speed a little bit, and then he's just going to have to play through some things. Whether he comes back and plays corner or helps us on special teams, it'll be a little bit of a progression there.
How had you liked what he had done so far?
I did. I liked it. The speed showed up. He's incredibly conscientious, as everyone has seen since the night of the draft. Embraces the growth mindset. Really wants to be good, takes it to heart. It's important to him, and I thought he was off to a good start, and really probably, honestly, his best practice the day before, which is unfortunate because then the next practice he incurred the injury.
Is there a different technique or challenge to coaching a player that has that level of speed at that position? Because I'd imagine he probably feels like he could break on the ball any given play.
Yeah.
And there, I'm sure, would be some teaching about discipline, and he's got veterans in that room. But is he any different because he actually has that advantage to his game?
Well, he's a lot faster than I am, so for me to run beside him is I'm sprinting and he's jogging, right? But no, the speed is real. The biggest thing playing defense, if you can think through this lens, is reaction, right? They're moving one direction. Can you change direction and then regain your speed And he has the speed. The transition piece is the critical element to that. It's the connector, if you will, of going from one direction, changing that direction, getting into another direction, and then getting up to speed again. He has that speed. The change of direction is there as well. It's just grooving it over and over and over again. Like I'll bring up Mark Kelso, right? So over the years, I was a big fan of Mark Kelso, not even growing up in Buffalo. But I think one of the things that he mastered was the change of direction, the transition, getting in his break and coming out of the break, and then also the angles, the intelligence of the game. And so a lot of playing defense is not only reacting, but it's also knowing angles.
Yeah. No positives about his injury specifically, obviously, but is it comforting at all to have Tre'Davious look the way he's looked? At least if you would agree with that. Most accounts have been that he has looked very strong since coming back here.
He has. And the way he has handled Max and coming back overall, it's no surprise, but his character has shown through day in and day out, and the way he's helped lead and mentor, and yet he looks as good as he's looked in a few years now.
In our conversation with Bobby Babbage, he mentioned being a big fan of Joey Bosa going back. I'm like, I wonder what that's like, getting a player you probably watched play for a long time, be at the top of the game, and finally he's on your team and you get a chance to kind of get your hands on him and work with him. What's it been like with Bosa?
You know, we didn't interact a lot just in terms of the amount of times we played the Chargers, so getting to know him, being around him, I think that's been the cool piece of it. And not from it's Joey Bosa, but more from a Joey Bosa the person, right? I know it's not maybe what people are interested in, but he's a tremendous person that really loves football, and he takes a lot of pride in being good at what he does and trying to stay healthy as well. It's on our mind, but it's also on his mind, which is good to know in a way that he cares about it. He's doing everything he can to kind of change the narrative a little bit, if you will, and I respect that a ton.
Seems like, watching Hard Knocks and listening to Joey Bosa say spent more time with teammates in the last 6 weeks than he had in previous years. Like it seems like the whole thing coming together is about the idea of you get players, you aim for players that want to come play football and be together. And that's really what this program is about for you.
It's huge, right? That connection. When you study successful teams, it's very, very few are not connected, right? And so that connection is important for us off the field. The other night we went and had ice cream and as a team, and here's pro, NFL athletes that are just taking time to slow down and get to know one another a little bit more, forming that connection. And it was a great time and fun to watch the guys, just stand back and watch them enjoy each other's company. And then what that does is it builds connection on the football field, right? When you know each other a little bit more, respect each other, trust one another. So it doesn't happen all at once, but inch by inch.
That ice cream place, we saw Pittsburgh Dairy. We saw it on Hard Knocks last night with Trey White and Christian Benford in the Trey Day Sunday. Did you guys watch the episode? Did you watch it? I mean, you guys are the stars of it. Are you interested in how it comes out?
I am from the standpoint of making sure that it's painting the players in the right light. I think that's important. These guys are out here working hard. They're doing it for a reason, and they know that they're a part of something bigger in Buffalo, and that's true of all players that come here, right?
Yeah.
And so it is important to me from that standpoint. I don't really seek the camera or the microphone. You guys know that. But anyway, my job is to coach them and get them ready to go.
For me, watching it, the thing that I feel like maybe your fans are brought into is, practice. We see practice. They know about practice. What observers from the outside can't see during a practice, they can't hear you. They can't hear you talking to Josh after a throw or the technique of a player. And, of course, it probably goes without saying, but for us to, I think, get an inside look in the communication that's happening on every rep, and every practice rep that's out there, it kind of drives home how valuable and how much you are working throughout these 2.5 weeks here at Fisher.
Oh, it's work nonstop. It really is. Even yesterday on the day off, players had the day off. Coaches are working, staff is working. You're planning, as I already mentioned. You're trying to get yourself and the team ready to go, paint the vision for the next X amount of days leading into the game this weekend. And then the players are working too. I know some of them took some time off, but some of those guys are spending even healthy players spending 2 hours in the training room, making sure they're getting treatment and keeping their bodies where they need to keep them.
The other player, there were a few players that were highlighted last night. At the beginning, there's a lot of Deion Dawkins in it. I imagine there'll be a lot of Deion Dawkins in this. Is he kind of just the perfect example of, because, I mean, you know from all the years, his character, and we get to see a little of that, and he's becoming a bigger star, I think, in the league because of that, that he is like kind of the perfect example of guys feeling comfortable being themselves here?
Huge, right? And when they know what's expected and when they know what we value, I think that bodes for that, right? Where they can open up, be their true selves, experience, really joy and having fun playing football and also being themselves. Like, I'm sure people like coming to work and feel good about when they're coming to work and they're happy and they're like, hey, this is fun. This is a good thing to be around. There's good people. I'm having fun playing football again, and I can be my real self. It's just to me, it's another spark that lights the fire here for us.
Bills head coach Sean McDermott with us here on WGR. On to expectations. Like, it's another year where it's that final little bit, right, over the finish line. You're favored in every game. I know that's looking way too far ahead, but it kind of drives home expectations are about as high as they could get. Right? Like,
no, is that a question or is that a statement?
It's kind of like a well, I feel like last year there was a good opportunity to say people think we're in transition. Sometimes teams like to lean into people don't believe in us. And I guess the question is, like, I think everybody believes in you. And is that more pressure? Is that welcomed pressure? Is that just put it aside because, hey, it's August 6th?
No, I think in 2017 that team was defined by people don't believe in us. Taking a group of players that were maybe cast-offs from other teams or maybe written off. They were Bills players but written off. And I think that team, anytime you have that, you can go on and do more than people expect. And going back to last year, that was a team that people did not expect us to win the division or go and win 13 or so games, be in the AFC Championship game. I think that says a lot about our staff, number one, and how we develop, but also, what happens when you feel a part of something bigger. That said, I don't think you can live in this underdog mindset, even though, chip on your shoulder, yes, but I don't think you can live in that world, especially when you become good. I think you have to have this internal belief that, we are good. We are legitimate, and we'll see where it goes. I think you have to, within that, also be consistent day to day. Knowing if we're favored and all that type of stuff is for the outsiders to look at. But at the end of the day, we know who we are. We know who we're trying to become. And, it's going to be a journey. There's going to be some highs. There's going to be some lows.
One more thing about this season, the closing of Highmark. It's the final season in Highmark Stadium. Is that something you feel, whatever it is, a privilege to close it out this year? Do you impart that upon the players? Like, this year it's a big year. It always is a big year, but, shutting down this building in style.
It's a responsibility is how I look at it. For all those that have come before us, all the great memories that have been had in that stadium, a lot of them before we arrived here in 2017, certainly a ton since we've gotten here since 2017 and up till now. It'll be emotional for all of us. Every time we take the field, including this weekend, we're creating some final memories and putting our own autograph on it. And, it is I look at it as a responsibility. I really do. And, we're getting the end of this thing. And there's a lot of people who have been with the Bills a lot longer than I've been there and we've been there. And to see them talk about and hear them talk about Highmark Stadium, it's emotional for me, and I know and I've seen it being emotional for them.
I'm sure Marv's maybe giving you some stories over the years about it.
Of course, and I grew up too in an era where I was watching the Bills in the early '90s.
Right.
So a lot of those great moments I was witnessing on television, watching it, and to be able to be a piece of it, too. That's another piece. I'm a piece of history. We're a piece of history with this stadium in the last year.
Excited for the season. Sean McDermott, Bills head coach. Thanks for taking the time to join us, and best of luck this year.
Thanks, guys. Great to be with you.